Yeah, I'm playing some Assassin's Creed Valhalla today and hunting boars. Looks like we're done hunting boars though. Um, no more boars. Okay. Well, I should have started recording like a few minutes ago,
A good
so you
hunt,
could have seen all
messin.
the boar
You've had
hunting.
enough for one
It's
day, I
great.
think. Even my thanes will not go hungry with it.
They may give you grief, but I've been nothing but amused.
My
You
God,
have
this
brought us
guy.
all true happiness, Eivor.
The
I
character
thank
you
you.
play as
Bjorn,
is like this
the
total
hard hound,
jaded,
who sought his true love by
pessimistic
searching the...
Beautifully said, my
kind of
friend.
dick to
Come,
people.
curse me, you hapless hound.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you're recording on the PS5, there's a little thing at the top of the screen that tells you how long you've been recording for, and I don't know how to move that or, not display it. And unfortunately, it's right in the exact spot where it blocks my objective marker. So it's really hard for me to see. See that little green square at the top? It tells me how far away my objective is. Yeah, so the PS5 has a prominent timer right on top of that when you're recording. So I can't actually see how far away I am. Unless I move it a little bit off center, like right here. And then just for a second I can make out the numbers. It's like I wish that this timer could have been literally anywhere else on the screen. Like put it over my HP bar. I don't need to see how much HP I have. I'll be fine. Anyway. Oh
Great
God.
plans for Essex.
So there are three big things I don't like about this game. Actually, it's probably more than three.
The girl I fell in love with lies behind
Let me
years
think.
of hardship.
And Illerich?
A soft lad, but with a
Well,
heart.
okay, yeah, there are more than three. There are a bunch of big things I don't like about this game.
He looks at me,
Um,
often strange.
and I'm going to probably run down them as I'm playing it here. As soon as they arise, once things pop up, I'll address them.
You embarrass
I'm
yourself
actually
nightly.
picking up this
You
game
don't want to
after like a
return,
week
boy.
or so of
Yes,
not
what kind
playing
of you to
it.
speak? That you've returned to this fickle man who a woman he paid
This is a game
disdain
that's
to
very
abduct, and
hard
that
to
Mind yourself.
oh, that
marathon.
you let him sniff and paw you.
Because
The
it's very
whole of Essex
repetitive, it's
whispers
very
now.
long, it's
He's
very
married
drawn
still.
out.
His wife
You
fresh. I
basically
am the
do the
mother
same
of
thing
his
over and over
child.
again for
Well,
60
child.
hours,
Please, my
and
boy,
it loses its luster around probably hour 10.
I will never forgive you.
Uh,
My lord, your
not
instrument
the
has been
not
found
the
by your
best
footmen.
I will not
not
let
the
this
best
blood be
Assassin's
undone.
Creed game.
Nothing
I will fix this.
you can count on.
I wanted to tell you.
It also can't decide if it wants to be Dark Souls or Witcher 3. Because the story, the way the story's laid out and everything, and the quests, very Witcher 3-esque, and the combat is very Dark Souls-esque. So yeah, I'm really not sure which one it's trying to be more out of the two. It also looks a lot more like Witcher 3. Like they absolutely pattern the visuals after Witcher 3, in my opinion. Um, But yeah, the combat is definitely Dark Souls inspired. It's much slower and more deliberate than previous Assassin's Creed games. Previous games were all about countering and dodging and moving quick and all that stuff. But this game is more about slow, lumbering combat where you're just kind of taking these great big swings, and if you miss, you're going to get punished. But if you hit, well, Dark Souls is a lot like that. It's a very slow-moving game. At first, I didn't like Dark Souls. First time I played it, I was like, man, this game is slow. I'm getting hit all the time. Why don't my attacks move faster? But now I love Dark Souls. And the slowness is actually appealing to me now because you can actually think your moves through before you do them. Because you have so much time between moves because everything is so slow. So you have time to think about your next action and really make it count. Whether it's a dodge or a block or a parry or a weak swing or a strong swing or just running the hell away. You have plenty of time to think in that game. Those games, rather, because there are, like, what, 4 of them now? 5 if you count Bloodborne. Although Bloodborne is actually pretty fast-paced, so it doesn't really count for what
Esther
I'm
is so
talking
close to
about.
freedom. I hope I'm not too late.
I've heard that Dark Souls 3 is also very fast-paced, much closer to Bloodborne than it is to the original Dark Souls in terms of speed and pacing. But I haven't played that one yet. And I can say for sure that the first two Dark Souls are pretty slow, and Demon Souls also very slow. And this game really emulates those Souls games with its slow combat speed, very deliberate and ponderous, like the Undertaker wandering out to the ring for the Big Show. You know, when the Big Show walks out to the ring and he's just like slow and ponderous. Well, that's what this game is like. Yep. Hold on. Did I miss my goal here or what? What's happening? I did. Wow, we're there already. Thought it was going to take longer than that to run here. Now, sometimes... Well, hold that thought. It's very important to collect as many rations as you can, which means picking berries and mushrooms and things like that to fill up your rations. Your rations are essentially exactly like sub-tanks in Mega Man X. You collect health pellets, as it were, and if your health is full, they get added to your reserve rations, which are reserve tanks. You can see in the lower left there, I have a heart with a 3 on it. That means I have 3 rations, which is essentially 3 sub-tanks. And yeah, as long as your life is full, you can always add more health to those sub-tanks, so you have no real reason to not use them. They're very, very, very important in this game. Anyway, what I was going to say a minute ago is that the objective markers in this game are very spotty. Those green diamonds that tell you where to go. Sometimes they'll tell you exactly where to go, like just now. It pointed me directly at the person I needed to talk to, which was great. But the majority of the time so far, they do this weird thing where they disappear when you get close to your objective. So they'll tell you to talk to a particular NPC, and they'll point you towards the NPC so you can get to their general area, like the town that they're in or something like that. Then as soon as you reach that town, the objective marker will disappear. I think I just got shot in the buttock. What is he doing? What is he doing? Jesus Christ. Is he having a seizure? What is... Good God. Good God. I think I'm glitching out here. I think I'm stuck. If someone will just hit me, maybe it'll knock me out of this animation. Come on. Will someone please hit me? What is going on here? Am I playing on, like, baby mode? There we go. Sheesh, I'm glad there were enemies around to knock me out of that animation because I was definitely stuck. Of course, I'm also I'm playing on a lower difficulty level, so if I don't like it, I can always turn the difficulty up. But truth be told, I really just want to get this game done. Because like I said, it wears out its welcome after a while. It goes on for about 50 hours longer than it needs to. I was pretty much good with it at about the 10-hour mark, seriously. Which is about how long most of the Assassin's Creed games are. 10 to 20 hours at the most. And I have never gotten tired of playing an Assassin's Creed game before this one. Except maybe Odyssey, because Odyssey was also too long. When I say too long, I mean Odyssey was like 40 hours long. So, you know, it wore out its welcome as well. And that was pretty much the only criticism that people had of Odyssey, was that it should have been a little shorter. So what does Ubisoft do? They go and they make Valhalla, and they make it like twice as long as Odyssey. It's like, what are you guys doing? What are you thinking here? Anyway, yeah, typically the Assassin's Creed will run you 10 to 20 hours, and it'll be a very, very fun and historically informative, in some cases, 10 to 20 hours of playtime. Then you've got this game sucking up 60 to 80 hours of you basically just having big village battles over and over again. These big slogs where you just slug it out with enemy soldiers. And you do this over and over and over again. Yep. Also, the stealth mechanic in this game is extremely underplayed. The other Assassin's Creed games emphasized stealth. Stealth was their primary MO. But this game, I don't know, you can pretty much go through the whole game without stealthing anything. It's extremely downplayed. I mean, sometimes you can use it, and it's nice when you can. But most of the time, you're just mashing it out with the enemy. Unfortunately. So it doesn't even feel like Assassin's Creed anymore. Yeah, I love this stealth gameplay. I love sneaking around in the bushes and carrying out assassinations without getting spotted. You know, like going to an enemy base and taking out the guards like one at a time without any of them seeing you. It's extremely fun gameplay. Well, not in this game. That's really not a thing here for the most part. Occasionally it can work. Like when you find a smaller enemy camp where the enemies are kind of spaced out, you can stealth for situations like that for sure. But most of the enemy camps, the guards are all pretty close together in this game, so it's very hard to clear a camp with just stealth. It pretty much forces you to go in guns blazing. But anyway, yeah, the objective markers, sometimes they're good, sometimes they just vanish on you. And when they vanish on you, you end up spending like a good 5+ minutes roaming around the area that it sent you to, which is usually some patch of wilderness with nothing in it, just wandering around looking for the person that you're supposed to talk to. And it gets so aggravating after a while. You know what I mean? It's just like I've spent so much time in this game just wandering around trying to find someone that I'm supposed to talk to.
Eivor!
Estrid,
I will miss.
when
Nope.
winter's
I
passed,
missed a thing that they
take care
said.
of her, Rollo Stout.
I'm scrolling through the text pretty fast because A, I can read very fast. You know, humble brag. Little humble brag there. I can read fast. But, you know what? This game has worn so thin on me that I'm not really that invested in the story anymore. Because truth be told, for the past 10 hours or so, very little has happened in this story. It's kind of been running around a big circle, as a matter of fact. And just because of the drawn-out, laborious pace of the story, I've just kind of lost interest in it. What can I say? It's just not grabbing me anymore. It was really interesting at first. Did I just say interdisting? Did I just say that? It was very. I was trying to say like interesting, and I started to say interested. I do that a lot. I'll like conflate two words together while I'm trying to speak, especially if I'm distracted because I'm playing a game at the time. But it's a very interesting setting to me because it's 18. What is it? 850 AD England. And 850 AD England is a very interesting time for me. It's the Dark Ages. It's a time I don't know a whole lot about. And you've got this Viking conquest going on where the Vikings are battling the English. Oh, wow. This is really far away. I'm going to definitely fast travel for this one. There we go. So, yeah, you've got the Vikings battling the English for supremacy. They came to England from Norway, and they were looking for land. Obviously, the English did not want these Vikings to encroach on their land, so they had a dispute. They had a battle about it. Honestly, I think there was probably plenty of land to go around, but I don't know. I wasn't there. So maybe from the English perspective, there really wasn't enough land to go around. I don't know. But from the Norwegian perspective, the land in England was much better than what they had in Norway, and they wanted it. So yeah, this is a very interesting period in European history.
I'm afraid.
And I feel like this game had a ton of potential. It just needed to be more concise. Just it's so long-winded about literally everything. And it just needed to condense the story. The story that it has is fine. Just condense. Instead of being 80 hours long, it should have been like 30. You know, I guess it's 60 to 80, so it might just be 60 for me. I don't know. We'll see. I'm at about 40 right now. But yeah, if they had just pushed all of this story together, just pushed it together, it would have been a much better game. Because this is an interesting time frame. It has a lot of potential for great storytelling.
Demanding silver. I ask only that I
Like
be
a
paid for
lot.
the property that
No
was
joke.
taken.
So Holger took something that belonged to you and defaced it.
That is right.
But yeah, unfortunately, it's too long-winded for its own good.
Short days ago, I wished to you the sailcloth wasn't.
I see.
My
A lot of
motives
fetch
were
quests too. A lot of
honest. Here she
just
claims I have
random
wronged and
people having
nonsense.
disputes with
My
each other, and you have to go and settle their
I gave
disputes.
something ugly
And then after that, you have to go and have another battle in a village.
Exactly. Yes.
Now, the battles,
All right. I have heard
you know,
enough.
the constant repetitive battles wouldn't be so bad if the battle system were a little more fun, but it's really not that fun.
If anything, I have
It's kind of cumbersome and slow, like I said, like Dark Souls.
Oh, I.
And there aren't really that many stakes involved.
I've shown you too many
You know what I mean? So as a result, the battles just aren't that interesting, and the actual core gameplay loop is not that fun because of how slow-moving you are.
Great,
So basically, it's a slow-moving battle system without the benefits of a Dark Souls battle system having stakes involved. See what I mean? I hope that all makes sense.
I am yours without rank.
So yeah, unfortunately, I don't find the battle system enjoyable in this game, and the game constantly foists new battles upon the player. Constantly. So, if you're going to have this much fighting in a game, the battle system needs to be a little more fun. Anywho, we just completed another quest. It looks like I'm actually done with the chapter that I'm on, because it's telling me to report in. I believe the next phase of the game will actually take me to Scotland. At least I hope so. That could be very interesting.
I want to thank you for your judgment, Eivor.
Poor man. I've never known him to.
Rarely. There have been moments.
Let us do
Yeah, Sigurd's got a temper,
If
that's
it
for
is not
sure.
in the meantime.
In Essex, I played a matchmaker and.
Understood.
Alright. Yeah, I'm trying to stick to diplomacy in this game for the most part. Anything that helps me avoid more fighting. But at the same time, it doesn't really seem to matter that much what my choices are. I feel like the game is just going to do what it's going to do regardless. Alright, so we have several options here. I can choose my next chapter, because we basically have a stage select in this game. But don't get too excited, because all the chapters / stages are basically exactly the same. I can also kiss her, because we are technically an item. I can invite her to bed. I can break up with her if I'm an awful person, or I can just leave the room. So those are your options. It's, I mean, Mass Effect, it is not, but hey, I mean,
Eivor. Not now. Not with
okay,
Sigurd there.
she is rebuffing, not even a kiss, she's rebuffing me. Sigurd is in the other room, it would just be awkward. What about this? Probably the same answer.
Please, Eivor. Not
Shall
now.
we?
Not with Sigurd there.
Well, that's unfortunate, because it's actually a really funny cutscene if you do that. They basically jump on each other and fall over, and it's really charming and nice, actually. I'm sure I'll show that to you in a little while once Sigurd gets out of here. My annoying roommate, Sigurd, told me he was going to go to the mall this evening and give me some space. Okay, so as you can see, there are a bunch of crow statues here. Those are the areas that I've conquered / chapters that I've finished. So we've got a couple of areas over here that haven't been done yet, and then we've got these areas up here, which is Well, actually, it's not quite Scotland. Scotland is up here off the map. This right here would be about where Hadrian's Wall is, I believe. Maybe slightly north of there. I'm talking about the present day, not the game. I don't know if Hadrian Wall has been built yet in this game, but so yeah, I've got a few northern areas, very snowy up here. Not quite Scotland, but in that general direction, I guess. Got these areas down here, and I've also got some areas in Norway that I still have to conquer. So yeah, there's quite a bit left, to say the least. Let's see, 6. Looks like I've got nine areas cleared, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to go. Oh my God. By my calculations, that only means I'm about 3/5 of the way through the game, probably. I think Norway just has like maybe 2 areas left. After that, in addition to the 2 that I got earlier, so yeah, about 3/5 of the way through the game. That is brutal. That is brutal. I've been at this for almost 40 hours. My God.
I want to see that.
Okay. Well, we will talk more later. My girlfriend and I here. Randvi.
Wife.
Randvi.
When did this happen?
Young Randvi. Randvi Orton. No, not Randvi Orton. Definitely not Randvi Orton.
And see that he does.
Funny story about that. I was at a wrestling show one time. I think I've told this story before on videos, so people that know me are probably sick of hearing it.
All right.
But one time I was at a wrestling show and I was in like the 3rd row, very close to the ring. And Randall Keith Orton was wrestling in a match. And it was a tag match, so he was standing on the apron waiting to get tagged.
I should go.
And me, 3 rows back, very close to the ring, so he could hear what I was saying. I started yelling at him. Yeah. I'm sorry, I can't say this without cracking up. So most of the audience was just kind of sitting there. They were sitting on their hands, not really making any noise. I mean, it was a Randy Orton match after all. So yeah, they were making very little noise. But there I was, standing up, and I was like, Randy! Randy! And I waited for him to notice me, and he didn't notice me. I was literally like, notice me, senpai, as the kids say. And senpai did not notice me. And then I was like, young Randy! Randall! And after I did this like 4 or 5 times, like said his name 4 or 5 times, like on the 5th one or so, I think it was the young Randall, or maybe just Randall, he finally notices me. And I'm like, Randall! And he slowly turns his head and looks directly at me. If you've ever seen the Terminator, like the original Terminator, the very first one with Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you've ever seen that movie, which I'm sure you have, I think everybody's seen the original Terminator. If you remember the way Arnold would slowly turn his head to look at people, he would be looking one way and then he would just slowly turn his head. I think there's one part where someone like hits him in the face and his face like goes to the side and then slowly turns back to look at them. He has the most intimidating little turn of the head in that movie. That's exactly what Randy Orton did. He just like slowly turned his head until he was pointed directly at me, and he just stared at me like, shut the fuck up. That was what his face said. He didn't say a word. He just looked directly at me with this expression that I'll never forget, because it was like the Terminator. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm not gonna say a word. And I just kind of looked at him and I was like, okay. And I sat back down very quietly. And then he slowly turned his head away from me and looked back at the match. I'll never forget that. You know, to be quite honest, I heard that they're thinking about doing a reboot of the original Terminator. I hope that they don't, because I think that's completely unnecessary, but that's a whole other rant. If they make that movie, I seriously think that they might want to tap Randy Orton for that role. Like, no joke. I think he would actually be a great Terminator. Just from that one interaction. Like, I saw that. I saw that Terminator look. Yep. He'd be a great choice. And, I mean, he's an okay actor. He's been, like, what, a couple of movies now. So, I mean, Arnold was merely an okay actor when he played the Terminator. So, yeah, I think Randy Orton should be, like, number one on the list for people to tap for that role. Although from what I've heard, the people that were thinking about making this reboot wanted The Rock to be the Terminator. I don't see it. The Rock is just too nice of a guy. You know, he's this great guy. Everybody knows him.
Smile like I have.
You know, it's very hard for The Rock to be anyone except The Rock. You know what I mean? And I don't even mean from an acting perspective. I mean from a perception perspective. It's very hard for us, the fans, to look at The Rock and see something else that's not The Rock. I just don't think he'd be believable at all as like a killer cyborg. You know, it just... Randy Orton, though, give him the role, man. Just trust me. Trust me. He would absolutely nail that role. The good news is, at that same wrestling show, I also saw Bret Hart, and I had a positive interaction with Bret Hart. He was walking around the ring, and he looked in the direction of where I was, and I put my arms up in the air and did the pose that he does, where he like puts his arms out, like, you know, like kind of like the Fonz, you know, just like, hey, what's up, you know, like that kind of pose. That's not what Bret does, but he puts his arms up like that. Anyway, if you know Bret Hart, you know what I'm talking about. So he's walking around the ring, he did his pose, he walks over to the corner facing where I am, looks directly at me while I'm doing the pose, points at me, he's like, yeah, and then he keeps walking. But yeah, he pointed right at me, said, yeah, and I was like, wow, Bret Hart. Bret Hart just pointed at me. This is the greatest day ever. It was live on a Raw, an episode of Raw. I wish I still had that Raw. I could actually probably clip in the two moments that I've talked about in this video. I could just splicey them in real quick, so you could see Bret pointing at me and Randy Orton doing his Terminator head turn. Probably splice those in, but yeah, I don't even remember what episode it was, like what the date was. It was in late 2010. That's all I remember. Mid to late 2010, I believe. It could have also been 2011, actually, come to think of it. It was either fall 2010 or fall 2011. But, yeah, the Bret Hart thing made up for the fact that Randy Orton looked at me like he wanted to murder me. Thing is, I can be annoying for sure. I can definitely be obnoxious. When you're at a wrestling show, though, that's like the only time where it's really appropriate to be annoying and obnoxious. To stand there going, Randy! You know, I mean, it's appropriate in that context. Because at a wrestling show, nobody is behaving themselves. It's like that movie, Serenity. You know, everybody's aiming to misbehave when they're at a wrestling show.
A good leader.
Anywho,
Hands as clammy as a
dead haddock. I love this guy's vocabulary. His verbiage, if you will.
My friend's marriage and drink my weight in ale. If friendship comes afterwards,
Here to drink his weight in ale. All right.
Friendship done for Christian Mercia.
We brought
so-called
stability.
puppet kings.
I
Yeah, maybe you Brits should try being a little more appreciative of your Viking invaders. That's actually one thing that I'm not crazy about with this game's story is that for some reason, and I'm sure that modern politics figure into this somehow, for some reason they went out of their way to present the Vikings as the protagonists of the story and present the English as being basically unreasonable. The thing is that the English were the ones that were being invaded by the Vikings. So, I mean, maybe the English were awful, because throughout history the English were generally awful the majority of the time, I think. I mean, they were pretty bad. But they were still, as far as I can tell, not the aggressors in this situation. The Vikings were the aggressors. And if the English didn't want the Vikings invading them, I mean, they had the right to defend themselves. You know, the Vikings also had the right to migrate. You know what I mean? So, and like I said before, I think the island was big enough for both of them. There's just so much empty space on this island, so much empty wilderness, plenty of space for towns, plenty of resources for everybody. But you know, they didn't want to share resources. They each wanted their land to themselves, and they had a conflict over it. And I think that there are a lot of shades of gray in this particular part of British history, or English history rather. I think there are pretty much entirely shades of gray here. There are no good guys, there are no bad guys, just two different groups of people that were trying to survive and trying to hold on to what they held dear. And I don't know, I just don't like the way the game kind of portrays the English as being unreasonable buffoons because they're upset that they're being encroached upon by this wave of invaders. I don't really like that. It feels too one-sided, and like I said, it's probably motivated entirely by real-world politics in the current era, and Ubisoft's own personal politics on things like immigration and whatnot. That they're using this game to make statements on their own personal politics. And, you know, I don't even really have a problem with people making their own personal statements on politics in media. I actually tend to enjoy it myself when media is referencing the real world. But in this case, I feel like the personal politics have bled over into the story at a cost of historical accuracy. I don't feel like this game is historically accurate, really much at all. Could be wrong, but I'm sure it gets enough things right to be a passable account of 800 AD, 850 AD, wherever it is in there. I'm sure it gets enough right, but it does feel like a one-sided retelling, basically taking the side of the immigrants against the people that they essentially colonized. So, yeah. Anywho, one of the things I really like about this series is the general sense of historical accuracy that you get from most of the games. Yeah, I'm sure they take their own liberties with different aspects of the stories that they're telling. Like Benjamin Franklin was all over Assassin's Creed 3, and I'm pretty sure that they took a lot of liberties with his character. But most of the time, Assassin's Creed is pretty accurate. And you can get some very interesting looks at times like Renaissance Italy, what was it? Victorian England is another one. Revolution era France. I mean, each one of these settings has at least one Assassin's Creed game that corresponds with it.
Thank you.
And
for saving my life.
not only are these games a lot of fun, but the history lesson that they give you is terrific, actually. It's really terrific. It's terrific to play a video game and learn about history at the same time.
More likely the
And that's why I
signs
like
of
this
our territory.
series. I've always liked
Lord,
this
we
series.
thank thee for your
Pretty much
protection.
from the very
It's not
first
safe
game.
here.
Give me my moment's prayer.
Although the very
I
first
ask
game
only
is
this.
also
We should
not that
return to
great,
Bower's
very
town.
very repetitive,
Unless
much
you'd
like
like to
this
thank the
one,
little
except
mountain here for
1/8
tonight's feast.
I'm not a babe
of
in
the
the woods
length.
in need of constant guard.
But it really kicked off with the
I
second
gave
game,
Conan-
Yes,
and
your
it's
word.
been great ever
And when I
since,
see
in
you,
my
I
opinion.
will say you protected
Up
me
until
from
this
being a
one,
steward
anyway.
upon
This
those
one
devil's
is merely
tusks.
good, not great.
Oh, and Eivor,
Yeah, I love
I owe
the
you a
historical
drink, at
lessons in
least.
this series.
Later, if you'd have.
At least when they're accurate, you know. That is a beefy boy right there.
Skull.
Skull.
Yeah, they do lots and lots and lots of
So,
drinking in this
you
game.
invited me to
It's
a
actually
preview.
amazing that they're able
What
to
mischief is
accomplish
this?
much of anything when they're all drunk,
Creatures of the veil.
chronically
Some
drunk,
clout to honor
24/7.
lovely visitors. And if you dress as one,
Freely given?
then we turn you into a beastie and
I used to get drunk a lot back in the
It's
day.
hardly a disguise.
Socially.
Just a cloak
Socially.
and some bones.
Only socially.
nonsense. You
Occasionally,
are the
I would
spirit
drink
of the
at home
Become the merry
when I was
little
working on
spirit of
projects and
sin,
things like that.
cake and ale.
But most of it, probably 90% of
No one
it,
else is dressed this
95%,
way. I will fill
was
your shop with
social. And then one day, I just realized that every time I drank alcohol, I felt like total shit afterwards. And I was like, wait, why am I doing this? So I stopped. I just stopped. I stopped drinking. I'll still have a drink occasionally, but it's quite rare.
That house was
It's quite rare, and it's usually something very small, usually for the flavor. Like I'll get something interesting, or interesting rather. I always pronounce that word wrong. Always said interesting. Some people say it that way. But yeah, got some moldy cheese, very nice.
the role of trickster spirit.
But yeah, I'll try a drink that has like an interesting flavor, or that has layers, or something like that. I'll try something interesting from, especially in like a foreign restaurant. If I'm in a foreign restaurant, and they have some sort of alcoholic drink that I've never had before. I'll certainly try it. It's just not something that I go out of my way to do. Not at all. Anyway, yeah, this is. I just realized we're doing a very strange quest here. I'm walking around with a skull mask on, trick-or-treating. And now it wants me to find someone, and it's giving me no clue where they are. So now I get to show you the other thing I was complaining about, which is the way the game often just turns you loose with no clue.
Child.
I guess just keep knocking on doors until I find this guy, maybe? I don't know. Oh, there he is. So yeah, you can use your eagle vision and look for green circles, and that'll generally tell you where the person you're looking for is. Anyway, yeah, the last time I really had any appreciable amount to drink, I was out with my friend Liz, and Liz and I would tend to drink quite a bit together. So we got this scorpion bowl. I think that's what it was called, like a scorpion bowl. And it was this giant goblet of alcohol. And so yeah, we got this goblet of alcohol. It was like orange stuff. And we put 2 straws into it, and we just like sat there drinking it at the same time, basically. And it was really funny, and just like this giant goblet. And I was trying to keep up with her, and I guess we got a little carried away, because by the time we finished the scorpion bowl, I felt like absolute shite. I mean, it was bad. Like, I felt like I was gonna keel over, like no joke. I felt like weak, and it was like I had been poisoned or something, actually. It was really bad. Liz was totally fine though. She's always totally fine with like alcohol. But I was just like, okay, something's wrong. I am not feeling well at all
Are you
here.
sure you don't want to stay in Glower?
And it was bad enough to basically ward me off of alcohol on a fairly semi-permanent basis after that. Yeah, I felt so incredibly shitty that I had to basically lie down a few minutes later. I lied down and I just like couldn't even move. I was like, just let me be. Just let me be. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm gonna try to sleep and hopefully I feel better later. So I went to sleep and I felt better in the morning. But my God, I was like incapacitated. I felt so sick after that Scorpion Bowl. And like I said, there was nothing wrong with it. Like, she was fine. It's just that for some reason, alcohol just does not agree with me at all anymore. It just agreed with me less and less as the years went by. Wow, this guy has a ton of HP. No, I don't want to use a sub-tank on this guy. Did we lose? Oh, we lost. It was a 2-on-1 and we still lost. I could have used a sub-tank, but I don't want to do that for this guy.
I don't answer to you, witch.
Thomas
Witch? How dare you?
Wiped your mother's
You son of a bitch.
Mind your tongue.
Whenever I say that, I'm referencing that one Chris Farley sketch where he finds out he's drinking decaf, which is hands down the funniest sketch I've ever seen in any comedy show, I think. Hands down.
Your aid is welcome.
Men drown themselves in ale on sandwich.
Guy tells him he's drinking decaf, and he looks up and he's like, what?
I lead those who follow the old ways.
You son of a bitch.
I offer my healing
And he just
services
totally
and
flips
go,
out.
my love.
Takes like
Go
6
back to
people to
house and
subdue him.
problem solve.
He's just standing there going, God is my witness.
Yes, grab
Yeah, look it up if you
the
haven't seen it. It is absolutely the most hysterically funny thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
off before you return.
Look up Chris Farley coffee commercial or something like that.
I'm glad you're all finding my
Modern.
That's right, turn this video off. You've been watching this video for 45 minutes for some reason. Turn it off. Get out of here. Go watch that Chris Farley video. You're dismissed. Let's see. But on a serious note, I'm going to keep the tape machines rolling here and play this for a little while longer. It's a good opportunity for me to talk about the game a little bit because I recorded some of it before, but I didn't really talk about it that much. Speak to tutor. Okay, where is he? I guess he's like right over here. Should probably heal. Yeah, healing in this game is just like Mega Man. You find like things that give you energy and you collect them, get your energy back. I wish it had regen though. That would be great. Because very often I finish a fight and my HP is low, like it is now. And I just kind of wander around with low HP for a little while until I find some healing shrooms or something like that.
With bitter ale and sweet
So yeah,
friends, that
like
is a
out of
fine
combat
way to
regen
be.
would have been really swell. Maybe drinking will get me some health back. Unless it's a Scorpion Bowl, in which case I'll probably die. Okay, let's talk to this guy over here.
Eivor, there you are.
It's after.
You're well met.
I wonder if
Here has challenged my
Twidwer
honor in a
is
contest
like
of
a
drinks.
predecessor of the name Theodore.
The lad will be easy pickings.
Twidwer, Theodore. I bet you it is.
Give me a cup.
I bet it's like the
One
oldest
for me as well.
Gaelic
Or
version
shaving
of
if
the name
Christ
Theodore.
won't. You have a lot of scars.
Not every tonsured man is aware.
That's the thing about Gaelic. Lots and lots of W's and Y's.
Scarred my soul with sin.
Very hard to
To
pronounce
holy hearts, human
names.
eyes. It is the best drunk.
Oh, are we gonna have a mini game here? What's happening? Oh, we are. Wow. Press buttons. Okay, I'm pressing. Here we go. Oh, I missed one. No, I missed two. Concentrate. I think he's ahead of me. Damn it. My God, it's the squat mini game from FF7 all over again. Oh, he's still ahead of me. Oh, this is hard. This is really hard. Oh, come on, man. Oh, shit. Yeah, I think I've lost. Not by much, though. Damn it to hell. Man, drinking's kind of gross now that I think about it. Like binge drinking like this. Getting like blackout drunk. It's like gross behavior. Social drinking is great, you know, in moderation. Alright, well, I just lost a pugilist match and then I lost a drinking contest. Not really a great day for our hero here.
Of all the Eldermen I've met, you're the most unburdened.
None. It is well known. The burdens I carry will soon leave this world.
Death?
I am to be sacrificed in the Wicker Man.
Yeah, this guy's definitely Welsh. He's got a crown of antlers, which is probably a reference to Cernunnos.
Barbaric practice. A burnt offering.
Well, this has been a fun little romp. Fun look at Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I feel like the past hour of gameplay has actually been pretty good. Most of the problems that I have with the game haven't actually reared their heads during this hour. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but you've caught the game at a good time as far as that goes. Could be a bad thing because I didn't really have a chance to talk about any of my issues with the game. But I mean, my issues with the game are pretty simple. I think I grazed on them, you know, a little bit. Primarily the length and so forth. Yeah, it's been a good past hour. I think we might be heading into the end game soon here. Perhaps. Oh, we've got the option to romance the antler guy, but I'm going to go with being critical instead.
I wanted to be a cardinal.
Wait, it's not the antler guy. It's Theodore. Okay.
Gunnar and Bridget's.
So, in the Assassin's Creed games that take place in the distant past, you can generally romance anyone that you want, you know, regardless of what gender anyone is. Whereas in the newer Assassin's Creed, the Assassin's Creed games that take place in the newer past, the more recent past, you generally can't really romance whoever you want. This doesn't even really have a whole lot to do with when they were developed either. But yeah, definitely the games that were developed more recently are more likely to have more diverse romance options as well. But they definitely seem to be also kind of accurate to the settings in that sense. So, like for example, in ancient Greece, like you can pretty much romance anybody, and it's actually quite encouraged to be very gay and so forth. So the Assassin's Creed game that takes place in ancient Greece, tons of gaiety in that game, just rampant gaiety. But then if you play the one that's set in, say, more recent London, there's basically no gaiety at all to speak of. And those two games came out within like a year and a half of each other, if I remember correctly. So it's very interesting, though, and it reflects the changing societal norms over the years. where you had these ancient societies where people being gay was totally acceptable and even
What happened last night?
expected in the case of ancient Greece. And then you have these more recent, more modern societies where these sort of things were completely frowned upon and values had shifted to a puritanical mindset where those kinds of things were just verboten at worst and heavily frowned upon at best. And it's actually very interesting the way we've devolved in a lot of ways on our social mores. We've gone from being tolerant to being less tolerant as time has progressed, in a lot of ways anyway. I think the United States in the present day is extremely tolerant, but I think for the past few hundred years, most of Western culture was actually very intolerant. I've had friends from India, and all of them have told me that India is basically the most racist country on earth, with the caste system and the divide between rich and poor, and just the overall, not just racism against outsiders, but racism against their own people. Like lighter-skinned Indians look down on darker-skinned Indians, and so on and so forth. It's really, I don't want to say backwards because I don't want to insult anyone here, but it's behind where the United States is at this point in time, as far as progression on these kinds of viewpoints goes. Unfortunately, a lot of racism there. But you know, it's a different culture, and different cultures they're different. So it is what it is. But yeah, it is very interesting to me to look at old cultures in these Assassin's Creed games and learn more about them. Let's see. It wants me to examine this thing, but it's not giving me any option to examine it. I mean, I guess I could break the pot. Is that what it wants me to do? Okay, sure. It's the weirdest crime scene investigation I've ever seen, just going around breaking pots.
Better hold on to it.
Oh, by the way, I can back up my assertion, lest you think that I'm some sort of asshole for saying it. I can back up my assertion that India is the most racist country on earth. Not just with the anecdotal evidence of talking to people that are from there and having friends who are from there, but also in the sense that there was a study done, and you can look this study up for yourself, but there was a study done in a whole lot of different countries where they asked people, how likely are you to be okay with your neighbors being a different color than you, or would you be all right with living next to people who look differently from you? Something like that. It was a little more in-depth than that. But they did this poll in a whole bunch of different countries. It was a poll to basically determine the levels of racism that still exist. And in most countries, it was a distinct minority of people who answered that they would not be okay with that. I believe in the United States it was something like 4 or 5% who said that they would not be okay with living next to someone of a different skin color, which I think is actually pretty low compared to what it would have been even 60 years ago. But then you have India. India absolutely dwarfs everyone else on the list. It was something like 55%. 55% did not want to live next to someone who was a different color from them. Absolutely absurdly high number. And I believe Pakistan was number 2, basically right behind them, like 40% or something. So yeah, I can back up my assertion. Studies have been done on this, and unfortunately they do have an issue in this regard. But anyway, enough about that stuff. It's very unfortunate. It's very sad that these things are still an issue in this day and age. On a lighter note, there's an Assassin's Creed game that takes place in India. Unfortunately, it's not a mainline Assassin's Creed game, so it doesn't play like all the other ones do, like this one. It's one of those weird two-dimensional like 2D side-scroller Assassin's Creed games. They made a few of those, I believe, for the Nintendo DS and the PSP, the handheld systems. I believe there were three or four two-dimensional side-scrolling Assassin's Creed games. And there was one in China, one in Russia, one in India. Not sure if there was a fourth one or not. But yeah, I still haven't played those. I would definitely like to. But it is a little odd to play a two-dimensional Assassin's Creed game after being so used to the three-dimensional ones. You know, two-dimensional side-scroller just doesn't seem like Assassin's Creed, quite frankly. I feel like they've retreaded the same European settings over and over again. And it would have been nice to see one, say, in Japan, India, China, some different settings, some different cultures.
See you again soon.
You know, that could have been extremely interesting. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten anything like that yet. I guess Egypt, we got one in Egypt, and that was out of their comfort zone. So at least there's that. But yeah, I should really look into those two-dimensional AC games just to check them out. You know, can't hurt. Heard that they're not very good, but I think they'll be a fun play for me just on the basis of being something different for the series. You know what I mean? I think I'll like them. Also, they're all pretty short, unlike this monstrosity of a game that I'm playing now. There's also one that takes place in Russia, and the Russian setting is significantly less interesting to me than India and China for several reasons. But I have had friends from Russia before as well, and their history can be extremely interesting, for sure. It's just, I don't know. I don't know very much about Indian history and Chinese history, so I'm more likely to play a game in those settings. But hey, if I play both of those and I really like them, I suppose I'll play the Russian one as well. Can't hurt. There we go, a little bit of stealth gameplay. See if I can take out this other guy. I think he spotted me. Yeah, he spotted me. See, this game is just... Stealth is so de-emphasized. You have very little time to assassinate anyone. And once you're spotted, the entire army comes after you. It's ludicrous. Well, I have no idea where this guy is that they want me to talk to. Looks like there's a marker over there, which means that I've actually strayed way off the path while I've been wandering around trying to find the guy that I'm supposed to talk to. I've actually gotten further away from him, so it's pointing me back in the direction that I want to go in. Terrific. Works as a healer near the river. Okay. I don't know what that means because I don't know where the river is. I suppose I could check the map, but although I just found him, so he's right in front of me. Yeah, the river is down here and it's humongous. So, I mean, I guess I could run south and look around the river, but here he is, and he's nowhere near the river. Unfortunately, I can't interact with him now because I have too much aggro, so I'm going to have to go and de-aggro. I'll just hide in this bush right here. Hide in the bush. A bush. There we go. So your best friend in Assassin's Creed Valhalla is a bush. It's like the opposite of real life. No fan of Bush. No fan of President Bush. Let's hop down here because I can't seem to shake these guys. Maybe I'll hide around this corner right here. Maybe that'll work. You think he'll forget about me? I don't think anybody's forgetting about me. This isn't working. Let's go this way. God, this is obnoxious. I guess I could just kill all of them, but I really don't want to. Okay, we're gonna dive and we're gonna hide down here. Yep, that's right. I'm just gonna hide like a little bitch. Like a little Viking bitch. Look at all these bubbles. Hope they don't see my bubbles popping up. Like a little Viking bubble bitch. That's what I am. It's like Cody Rhodes would say. You're just a little bubble bitch. All right, Cody. Thank you. Thank you for your input. Alrighty. Let's kind of go back up there. Try to talk to this guy. Oh, come on. You know what? I've had it. Whoever spotted me, come on down. Let's do this. Let's have it out. Come on. Is that you? Or come on over. Let's do this. You want to fight me so bad? I'm just trying to like talk to NPCs without getting attacked constantly. How many reinforcements are on the way? Like 4 guys? Like what are we doing? What's going on here? Look at this guy. He's going to run away and shoot me with his bow. That's what he thinks. Anyone else? Anyone else? Come on, where are you at? I still have aggro music going on, so where is he? Oh, there he is. You know what you are, dude? You know what you are? You just a bubble bitch. Okay. Let's have this conversation now if we can, please. No, we can't because there are more reinforcements on the way. Great. Look at this guy. Way over there, down by the river. Down by the river. Oh, Gwend. That's another thing that Welsh names have a lot of, and Gaelic names. A lot of D's. A lot of Y's, W's, and D's. Oh, no. No, I don't want to fight anyone else. Leave me alone. I'm just going to hide in this bush. Okay, so who do I have to find now? Where is this guy? I don't even see the objective marker. Is it not visible or what's going on here? Okay, yeah, I don't know what happened there. The marker disappeared. Okay, so fast travel unavailable. I guess we're running then. I'm just going to run right in front of these guards because I don't care anymore. I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You want me to try the 2-dimensional Assassin's Creed games? Give them a whirl. Maybe give the China one a whirl. I think I'll probably play the India one first, but maybe the China one? I don't know. What would be more interesting to take a look at in this video? Yeah, let's go with the China one. I think that one's most likely the most interesting of the 3. A lot of rich mythology that you can draw on for that one, for sure. I mean, India too. I mean, my God, talk about mythology. Yeah, I'll give that a whirl in a few minutes here. Play this a little longer. If I'm not careful, this is going to turn into another 8-hour stream. I don't want to do that, though. Are we there yet? We are nowhere near there yet. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? Whoa. Yeah, we could do that. We could just sprint. Just going to sprint all the way there. There we go. Unfortunately, I'm now out of stamina, so no more sprinting. We are going to call them out. Oh, wow. Look at that view. Look at the sun on those hills over there. Especially on my new TV. This looks absolutely brilliant. Yep, I've got a new TV. It's great. Colors just pop on this TV. It's tremendous. Unfortunately, I don't know if that's going to come through in the video, but on this TV, whew, amazing colors. The TV is really doing a lot of heavy lifting for the PS5. It's making the PS5 look even better. So yeah, traveling around England on horseback can be fun. A lot of fun things about this game. It's the kind of game that you really need to not be in a hurry at all with. If you're in no hurry at all, you're just kind of killing time. It's a pretty fun, relaxing thing to play. You know, spend most of it just roaming from place to place and getting lost. Let's see what's happening with this druid before I do anything else.
Spirit, you have finally come.
Oh my god, it's Tom Bombadil.
Passing cloud foretold your arrival with droplets of sun-scented. But what form of being are you beneath this guise of horse and bone? From the realm of the Fae? Ah, whatever you be, now you are here, the ritual may begin. Oh, but ignite the sky to begin anew, here at the death of the season. Until then, I await you.
Huh.
Aylwin said the Wickerman must announce more fire. Perhaps I should set them ablaze.
Set the Wickerman ablaze. Alright, well, that I can do. This game has a very weird way of doing fire arrows. Basically, you draw your bow and you hold the arrows over fire until they light up, and then you have fire arrows. It's very realistic, actually. You don't just activate them like some sort of triggered ability like in most games. You have to actually light them on fire. Look at that. Cool, right? I actually like this way of doing things.
Yes, another joint.
It can be a little tedious, though, when you can't find any fire nearby, which happens frequently. Can't find it when you need it. And you don't really have any way of creating your own fire, at least I don't think so. I'm sure there's an ability somewhere that lets you do that. I'm actually very behind on my abilities in this game. I have 28 unspent skill points from leveling, because I've been leveling up a lot. But I haven't had any real difficulty with the game for a bit now. Not since I learned how to dual wield two-handers, which is kind of game-breaking. But yeah, once I got those skills, once I got like the dual wield skill and then the dual wield two-hander skill on top of that, I was pretty set for a while. So as you can see on the far right side of the screen there, I've got 28 leveling points to spend that I simply have not gotten to yet. Whenever I start to run into some resistance again from the foes that I'm facing, I will dip back into the leveling pool. Look at this guy. He's just swaying around, just having a grand old time. I guess there are still more straw men to light or something. Is there one way up there? What's happening? Oh, there's one right there. Okay.
They roar! Do you hear them? A chorus of fire!
Alright, this is getting weird.
Thanks.
This is starting to feel like Far Cry 5 a little bit. Far Cry 5 is the one that takes place in Montana with a bunch of like cultists, and
I've come to
it's
ask you
full of
something.
crazy lunatics just like this
Something
guy,
about your demeanor and your physical
doing weird rituals with
manifestation now gives
fire
me
and all kinds
pause.
of creepy
Are you
stuff.
truly a spirit of light?
I'm a spirit as any.
Then prove it. You must know
I
the
feel like
depths
maybe
of
the
the
same
world's
people worked on this
mysteries
game that worked
before
on
I
that
will
game.
help you.
I hope
Tell
not,
me
because I
the
really did
proper
not like
use
Far
of
Cry 5.
charms.
Very
I am
well.
excited for Far Cry
Let's hear
6
this.
though.
Man and woman
It's
are
got
made
Gus
of
from
earth,
Breaking
of
Bad
water,
as the
and
villain,
wind.
which should be
Which
very
charm
cool.
clods the earth, dries the
Alright, what's the question
man
again?
and woman
Man
are
and woman are
made
made
of
of earth, of water,
earth,
and wind.
of
Which
water,
charm
and
clods the
wind.
earth, dries the
Which
water, and
charm
stills
clods the
the
earth,
wind?
dries the water, and stills the wind?
Oh, what are my choices?
Give me a measure of time.
Oh, I
Are
thought it
you a
was a riddle.
spirit of darkness? If it
What are these things he's asking me? There must be
Oh,
trinkets
okay.
around
So I have
this
to run
house
around
as
and
well.
gather items for him then. Cool. So I have to go back to the village and look for clues and then gather some items. And then come back to this guy. Can I just solve the riddle
speak
now?
to me, O wind.
I bet I can.
Have you found yourself? If you are man and woman are made of earth, of water, and wind. Which charm clods the earth, dries the water, and stills the wind?
Well, wait. Why can't I answer the question? I was going to say time. Time does all of those things.
Give
Well,
me a
I
measure of
guess
time.
give
Are
me a
you a
measure of time. He
spirit
just
of
answered the riddle.
darkness?
He just inadvertently answered the riddle. Well, it's not going to let me answer the riddle. I have to go and gather clues. So I'm just going to call it a day with this particular game and switch over to Assassin's Creed Chronicles because I really want to take a quick look at the China-based game. I almost said the Chinese Assassin's Creed, but it's a China-based game. Not sure where it actually takes place, but we'll see. Give me 1 second here. Alright, I think that's good for now. I'm going to switch over to Assassin's Creed Chronicles and check out the China-based Assassin's Creed. Very excited for this one. Alright, we've flipped over to Assassin's Creed Chronicles, and we've got 3 choices here: India, China, Russia. I'm definitely going to check out China first, I think. Let me take a quick look at the other 2, though. Continue game. Yeah, I think I might have actually checked this out once before. Probably when I worked at GameStop because I could check out like anything I wanted at the time. Oh wow. This game actually looks really good. I don't know how it looks on YouTube, like in the video, but oh no, I've already been spotted and I'm dead. I'm not dead. I'm dead. Yeah, I don't know how it looks in the video, but it looks pretty darn good on my TV. Extremely colorful game. I believe the game's frozen. Wow. Well, we are off to a terrible start here. Terrible start with Assassin's Creed Chronicles. Wow. Wow. I am speechless. All right. Hang on. Okay. It looks like, from what I've read, it looks like this game might actually have some issues running on the PS5. It's one of the very few PS4 games that does have issues running on the PS5. Like it'll run, but it might have some unexpected issues at times. That's basically what I've read. So yeah, I just want to say the visuals here are gorgeous, amazingly colorful visuals here. Well, at least you can see their line of sight. You know what I mean? So this is a little bit more like a Metal Gear Solid type game, I think. Let's see, can I jump up there? I want to climb. How do I climb? Wow, absolutely gorgeous game here. You can even see the Himalayas in the background. Himalayas. The European way of saying it is Himalayas. The Indian way of saying it is Himalayas, if I remember correctly. So I should probably say Himalayas. But regardless, there they are, looking quite nice. Yeah, I definitely played this for a short time in the past, but I totally see why at the moment. This is very, very hard to play. Very unwieldy game. I think it really just requires a lot of patience. Okay, I'm pressing the up button. Alright, it said to press up to climb. I pressed up. I did not climb. Then I got spotted, so I tried to fight. I don't even know if I have any weapons, because I can't seem to swing my weapon at all. Maybe I don't have a weapon yet. Maybe this part is all just stealth, I don't know. I'm going to try jumping off of this tree to see if I can maybe grab a hold of the wall. No, I can't. Oh, I see. So if you press the up button, you can hide in the background. Can I assassinate this guy? I cannot assassinate him. Oh, I see. I see. Okay, so you press that button to dash between hiding places. Very good. Okay. So yeah, Assassin's Creed India, everyone. I'm sure this is a decent game, at least. It looks fantastic. Like, really legit fantastic. Does it play well, though? I don't know. I mean, it's a 2.5D Assassin's Creed game. Probably about as well as you could do such a thing. And I'm dead. Can I sprint? That would be great. No, I can't sprint. And I'm dead. Totally dead. Okay, that's it for this one. Not too impressed, quite frankly. I feel like these games could be fantastic if they were a little more user-friendly, to say the least. I mean, they had an audience, though. They definitely had an audience. I'm not sure if they were on the PSP or the Vita. Okay, July 1918. Interesting time for Russia. I'm just kind of skipping ahead here because I just want to see how the gameplay is. Oh wow. Look at that background.
One last time, one last mission.
This game is extremely stylized, to say the least. Oh, cool. This guy actually starts with an attack. Look at that. Nice. I think I might like this one more than the India one, actually. Yeah, you start with an attack. What a novel concept. Yeah, look at that. Look at that stylized background, though. It looks like a propaganda poster. Let's see. Press left up here. There we go. Controls are not very responsive. Very odd game here. Very odd. Pretty sure that this one was on the Vita. I'm not sure about the previous one. Previous one might have been PSP. And this one might be Vita. Not sure. Maybe they were both on Vita. I don't know. They do look a little too good for the normal PSP. It wants me to pickpocket the guards, but I don't know. This is an extremely interesting time in Russian history. I was actually hoping that this game took place somewhere around this time period because it's the time period that I'm most interested in learning more about. Hopefully the game has some history to teach in that regard. Alright, I'm gonna go back and check out the China game. Hopefully it is as interesting as the Russia one. See how fast the load times are, by the way? That is the PS5 for you. Load times are insanely good on the PS5. Even PS5 games load fast. Like Assassin's Creed Valhalla on PS5 loads faster than the last few games did on the PS4. And Valhalla is much bigger than those games were, graphically and memory-wise and so forth. Well, luckily the guards are not very bright, so... Oh, they are bright. Never mind. Let's get out of here. Okay, so my character here does not have a weapon either. Find your sword is the objective. What is it with these characters starting without a weapon? Like, WTF? This is the thing that made me quit the Wind Waker. Like the first time I played Zelda the Wind Waker. Don't worry, I got into it later and I really like it. But the very first time I played Zelda the Wind Waker, I tapped out after like the first hour because it kept forcing me to do stealth sections with no weapon. I guess I could sneak up on this guy, maybe? Assassinate, okay. Assassinate. Oh, nice, okay. Little fatality there. Oh, jeez. See, I can't do anything. Once I'm spotted, I'm just dead meat. Oh man, I love these load times. PS5 load times are the best. It's like that in like every game too. Okay, now I got that guy's. Now I have to get back into the corner before they see me. Okay, I guess I could drag the body with me, but they don't give me enough time to do that. And I'm dead. Yep. Wow. This is level 1, folks. Level 1. Okay. Kill this guy, drag the body back into the corner. I have no time to do that. And I'm dead. I guess what I can do... Wait, it says use falling objects to kill guards. Wait, what? Ammo full. Ammo. Do I have a gun that I don't know about?
Huh?
Whoa. Okay. I have some sort of firecracker. I can whistle to distract them.
大概是风太大了吧。
You know, I bet I could throw the fire... Yeah, I can. I can throw the firecracker. Okay. So I can throw the firecracker over here. Except that'll do nothing because it'll bring them all together. Actually, this is a perfect time to get this guy right here. Get him. God damn it. Wait, did I get one of them? No, I didn't. Okay. I can use the firecracker to distract the two guys on the right. Except I can't throw it far enough to get them to look the other way. I guess all I can do is wait for them to come over here, then wait for them to start going in the other direction, and then drop down, kill the guy, drag him to the corner, wait for them to walk away again, sneak up behind them. But sometimes this guy just spots me. Oh, wow. I mean, I got a hint that said that you can drop things onto the heads of enemies, but there's nothing up here for me to drop. It would make sense if there was like a pot or something right here that I could drop down, and then I could sneak up on the other guys. Okay. Jump down. Oh, for crying out loud. See what I mean? Like, she can kill that guy with a roundhouse kick, but only if I sneak up on him. Once she's spotted, she completely loses the ability to attack anything. She has this devastating roundhouse kick that I can't use. It's like she's Samus Aran getting orders from Adam. It's like, you're not authorized to use the roundhouse kick. What? What? Maybe I can use the firecrackers to just knock all these guys out. Here we go. Go ahead, knock them out. That actually works. That actually works. I think maybe I figured this conundrum out. Firecrackers collected. Okay. That's what I figured it meant by ammo. So I'm going to go ahead and start knocking these guys out. Oh, too late. I got spotted. Alright, I'm just going to get killed and start this over again. I know what to do now. Wow. The fact that I need a walkthrough for the first level is just incredible. Well, I don't need a walkthrough. I mean, I'm figuring it out, but I mean, this is kind of ludicrous. Okay, good. Now jump down, get this guy right here. Okay, these guys have recovered already. Okay, great. Okay. So here's what I'll do. I'll drop down and assassinate the guy on the left. Then I'll use the firecrackers to disable the other two guys, and then I'll run up and assassinate them. Since she can only attack people when they're not looking at her. My character is essentially a big boo. Okay, get him. Got him. Oh, that was nice. Wait a minute, they didn't spot me this time. So I can follow my original plan of just waiting. Wait, what? They can see me? I guess they can see me. Okay. Okay, now run up and get him. Oh yeah! Now run up and get him. Oh yeah! Here's a bunch of weapons. Can I grab one of those? Please? Can I please have one of those Quantas? Oh, this is even better. A sword. Okay.
My revenge can begin now.
Sword collected. Whew. All right, we are past the game's most challenging room. Okay. Let me try that again. Come on. Boom.
Remember to look for signs your opponent is about to strike.
Come on. Yeah, you got nothing. Come on.
Yes, that's it. This time when you block, perform a rollover.
Okay. Oh, you got me. Okay, that makes sense. How do I turn around? I can't turn around. What is this, like Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero? Can't turn around. What is happening right now? Why couldn't they just make this game, like, intuitive? What? Why can't I turn around?
Perfect. This tactic is also good to escape from combat. Attack this enemy. Show me how you strike with your sword.
Okay, so I can't turn around until I press the attack button. Okay, that makes sense, I guess. That actually makes a lot of sense because you want to be facing the opponent that you're engaging, I guess.
Good. Standard attacks are quick, but they deal little damage. Strike the enemy harder than that. Excellent. Heavy attacks deal more damage.
I really like my character.
See? The enemy
She's
is now
quite
weakened.
svelte,
Finish him.
very assassin-like. Alright, this game just went from terrible to pretty cool in the span of like 1 minute. I've never seen a game improve so drastically so fast before. How do I block again? Oh, there we go. I remembered at the last second. Oh, I love the blocking. This is so much fun. You know what? This game is alright. Also, the color scheme is pretty cool. They use a lot of blacks and reds together. Okay, boom, and boom.
Well done.
Look at that. Wow.
Training is complete for now.
Alright. This is like way better. Wait, was that Ezio? That guy that was just training me? That was, I think that was supposed to be Ezio. Sprinting. Okay, great. Let's just go ahead and sprint over there then. Okay, so wait. Press R2 to sprint and then press L2 to slide. Okay, great. Really overloading me with tutorials here, but it's okay. Just gonna slide around a little bit. I think that Mortal Kombat Mythology Sub-Zero reference was actually possibly astute when it comes to this game because that's what this is reminding me of. It is reminding me of Mortal Kombat Mythology's Sub-Zero. And anyone who knows that game knows that that is not a good thing. I don't know how to get down from here, so I'm going to sprint and jump. I'm shocked that that worked. Not because it's particularly shocking, but because the game is so counterintuitive that I fully expect things to not work when I try them. Things that look like they should work. Alright. This is not too bad so far. Now I just need to get a weapon in the India game so that I can actually defend myself there. And we'll be off to the races at that point. Is this another dash situation? No? Okay. Uh-oh. Boss fight, I think. Oh, never mind. Not much of a boss fight.
I allowed myself to be caught. I was
Actually, I think that was a boss fight.
close enough to kill you.
Yeah, a lot of boss fights in Assassin's Creed only last for 1 second if you sneak up on them from the right angle and so forth. That was one of the things I liked about the first Assassin's Creed that drew me into the series to begin with was finding creative ways to sneak up on bosses and kill them in one hit. It's extremely fulfilling gameplay is what it is. Chow Yun, that's a great name. Chow Yun. Well, I think it might be Yun because it's a J.
This was once a safe place for us assassins.
So now I have to escape before they realize that I've killed one of their bosses. All right, well, that was a fun time. Fun to take a quick look at these three Assassin's Creed Chronicle games. I guess because I mentioned them in the Valhalla video, I really wanted to kind of take a gander at them again. It's been a while. I think I probably will play all three of these because my interest has been sufficiently piqued. And even though these three games seem to have a lot of problems, they're playable enough and they look really gorgeous. And I think that they actually do have a lot to offer. So I'm going to give them a shot. I'm going to give them a fair chance. Not today, though. Some other time. But yeah, thank you for joining me for this round of Assassin's Creed. And hopefully it was a fun watch. And yeah, that's it for now. I'll see you next time.